Greetings and welcome to the energetic response that is designated to Libra. This is Ron from Tarot of the Twin Sun. Tarot of the Twin Sun is a functional division within the Order of the Twin Sun. Please take only what you will. So this is a reading for Libra. We're going to focus primarily on the operations of Venus, as it is the planetary ruler of the 7th house. Okay, we will also focus on the 7th house and anything that has to do with Mars, the opposite of Libra, and the yod formation from that. This is an astrological reading primarily for the month of August, particularly Greenwich Meantime, and that is 12 p.m. in the country of the UK. So let's move into the reading. We have Venus here operating in the auspices of the 9th house in Cancer. Okay, and I see this as a very auspicious thing, considering the planetary ruler of Cancer, that is the Moon, is giving a harmonic trine and harmonic sort of resonance here with this holy triangle that is partitioned between Venus in Cancer in the 9th house, close to your MC. Okay, so particularly there are certain karmas that are coming into a culmination point. Before that, you have to find and regulate a sense of truth through your relationships. Okay, especially a relationship that is tied directly to the mother or to the feminine spirit. And as this occurs, there's an ability to address drives and ambitions that are in conjunct Mars, conjunct the North Node with Uranus and Taurus. Okay, that can be seen as a sort of lifting effect towards the nurturing of truth, the nurturing of philosophical ideas, the nurturing of anything that has to do with higher knowledge, higher intelligence. Okay, so this is a very intelligent and emotionally intelligent month for Libra, in which your goals and ambitions that are heightened by the planetary ruler of Cancer, Moon in Virgo, that there is a sort of purifying in the way of your dharma, certain culminations of the collective. Okay, this has to do with psychological or perhaps spiritual collectives that have unified dreams that have to do with purification and curation. Okay, the ability to analyze these, the dream world from the 11th to the 12th houses gives you a sense of dictation, gives you a sense of truth through philosophy of spiritual insights. Okay, great spiritual insights are very much found here through the 11th house. Okay, and we have to note also that the cusp of the 11th house essentially lends itself to intellectual prowess of the highest form. That is through the auspice of the crystallizations of Uranus in Saturn. Okay, what does that mean? It means that there's a way to sort of objectify the path that you're on. Okay, it has to do with Dharma, it has to do with the 9th house, that is moving towards a goal of some sort. And this goal is very deeply intrinsically linked to the 8th house of deep transformation that has to do with this Taurian energy of the North Node conjunct Mars. Okay, and essentially your actions, even though they may not be understood, they are formulated within the point of crisis in which a development can occur, some sort of development that has to do with crisis and the management of crisis. Okay. This has to do with primal instincts, survivability, the ability to also worship the 2nd house, which has to do with the manifestations of the material realm. Okay, this is all something that is culminating to a sense of a value system that has to do with emotional intelligence or emotional clarity of the highest form. Okay. And I really, really enjoy this energy. There also is something that is occurring in your 4th house that has to do with Pluto retrograde in the energy of Capricorn, opposite to Venus. Okay, opposite to Venus in Cancer. What this means is that there are formulations of deep, I would say, karmic ties that are being sort of let loose, especially when it comes to the idea of home, the idea of a homeland, or the idea of the inner world that is going through a slow process of change that is very fundamental. I see a lot here of the Earth triplicity being affected, and that is Capricorn, Taurus, and Virgo moon, Taurus, Mars, and the dragon's head. That is the North Node Rahu. Plus, we have here Capricorn, Pluto retrograde, and the shifting that's going on there. Now, when Pluto's in retrograde, there's something about the underbelly that is being revealed in a very slow and methodical way that's going to occur over time. Okay, this has to do with crisis and regulation of that. This can have to do with a home or some sort of shared resources within the home or some sort of ambition that all ultimately is being sort of triangulated here towards this 11th house moon in Virgo. So it's important to really go deeply within and find the resonant qualities, the transients that are hitting in terms of your goals and ambitions, as well as globalized, collectivized ideas, the community, what you're here to do in terms of humanitarian realm. Okay, when it comes to relationships, the 7th house, your descendant, there is some sort of there's Chiron, in Aries in retrograde. And what does this indicate? Usually it indicates something that has to do with past traumas, healings, the wounded healer that needs to come out and learn a lesson with Jupiter in retrograde. Okay? This is a gift from the heavens. Something about health here is very much important in terms of the purification and the liberation which you would find in the auspice of Sun in Leo, okay, in the 10th house. This allows you to address certain karmas within your reality, within certain planes of existence that has to do with the great illumination, okay, the solar flare, the solar flash. And essentially, this has to do with insights that are coming in the form of psychosomatic things that occur within the body that need to be liberated or healthily purified in some sort of way through the energy of Sun in Leo combined with Mercury in Leo, that is giving a sense of this Jupiter retrograde energy in Aries, purification in relationships, okay, healing in relationships, of past traumas in relationships. All of this is very auspicious. Now, when it comes to certain tribulations, there's something about a block in creativity in which there has to be a selfless maneuvering in order to find some sort of success there, meaning that a lot of your creations may not even be your own. There's an impulse here that the romances that are thrown upon you, that have been thrown upon you, in which this trauma is being sort of revisited, they have not been your own. There's something about it where there's a creative impulse and it needs to be understood. There's possibly something that has to do also with the home and karmas within the home, and trying to learn the lessons of liberation within the home and away from it, and also coming into mind something about the mind being incongruent with the actual actions that you produce in terms of meeting crises, okay, meeting things up front and then trying to understand and resolve those. These are all sort of some of the slighter aspects that are kind of difficult, okay? This has to do also with not letting your ego come in the way of the certain actions that are produced in order to find a certain result within crisis, okay? Crisis and resolution. I see a lot in terms of the reptilian side of like survival instincts and the automatic processes that are tied to North Node, South Node in Taurus and Scorpio. But logistically, there's nothing that would provide a sense of squalor in all of this. I think there's a great movement towards the realization and addressing of karmas that are tied directly to home and the inner world, and addressing those in the outer world, and coming to mind certain things where the operations of what you're doing are intended to provide an effect or commitment towards the alleviation of deep and unresolved traumas, okay, in times of crisis. And once you resolve these, there's something about it that sounds like an order within a disorder, something that has to do with the ability to cut through the bullshit, really. This is all I got for Libra for the opening of the month in August 2022. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.